Why do you feel unhappy? Perhaps like many people, you spend most of your days trapped in thoughts that consume you. Worries about what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. This constant worry creates mental noise that prevents us from experiencing the peace we so desperately desire. Now, what if I told you that peace and serenity are closer than you think? The secret to silencing the mind and reaching a deep peace is not found in the future or the past. It is found in the now. In this present moment, the only one that truly exists is everything you need to find peace and serenity. Imagine that you could stop that endless flow of thoughts, that constant worry that pulls you away from the pure experience of the present. Living in the now is not just a spiritual piece of advice, it's a practice that can transform your life, freeing you from anxiety, distress, and mental suffering. In this video, you will discover how to silence your mind effectively, using the power of the present. We will talk about how you can start living fully in the here and now, leaving behind the chaos of thoughts and accessing a peace that already resides within you. It's time to free yourself from the constant mental agitation and take the first step towards a calmer, fuller life. Peace is not something you need to search for outside of you. It's something that already resides within you, waiting to be discovered. Are you ready to discover the power of now? We live in a time where the mind is constantly busy. We are trapped in an endless cycle of thoughts that never cease. Reflections on the past, worries about the future, and thoughts about what should be. We've become prisoners of our own minds, always looking for answers outside of ourselves, without realizing that true change starts from within. You may have already noticed this constant feeling of unease. Perhaps you feel drained, stressed, or simply unable to disconnect from the mental whirlwind. The pressures of work, relationships, social expectations, and personal goals all seem to pile up in your mind, creating a storm of thoughts that prevents you from finding peace. This is the fundamental problem: the mental noise. The most ironic part is that despite having so many things to occupy us, we often are not present in any of those moments. While you are in a conversation, your mind might be thinking about the email you haven't replied to or the upcoming meeting. While you enjoy a meal, your mind might be running over yesterday's worries or anticipating the ones ahead. It's as if constantly we are outside of ourselves, observing our lives from a distant place, unable to enjoy what is really happening in the present. This is the cycle that creates anxiety and suffering. We identify so much with our thoughts that we come to believe we are them. And when our mind is stuck in the past or the future, we lose touch with what truly matters: the here and now. This mental distress doesn't just affect our peace of mind, it also has a negative impact on our physical health, emotions, and relationships. The overloaded mind generates stress, which can lead to health issues like insomnia, anxiety, and fatigue. It also pulls us away from true connection with others, as our interactions are infused with thoughts and judgments instead of being fully present. But here's the good news: all of this is an illusion. The suffering we experience, the anxiety that consumes us, are products of our identification with our thoughts. If we manage to detach from them, we can find peace. This is the first step toward liberation, recognizing that the real problem is not external chaos, but the way our mind interprets reality. It's important to understand that what we think we are is nothing more than a mental construct. We are much more than our thoughts, worries, or stories. We are present beings, capable of experiencing peace only when we free ourselves from the grip of our minds. Now that we've identified the problem, the next step is to explore the solution: how to silence the mind and begin living fully in the now. The power of now is a simple yet profound concept. Living in the present doesn't simply mean being aware of the moment. It means being fully immersed in it, without letting distractions from the past or future invade your mind. It's a way of being, a state of awareness where you free yourself from constant thinking and surrender to the flow of life just as it is. What's fascinating about the now is that it's all you really have. The past no longer exists. It's beyond your reach, relegated to memories that, although meaningful, no longer have power over you. The future, on the other hand, is uncertain. You may plan for it, but you can never live it until it becomes the present. Therefore, the only reality you can experience is what is happening right now. The present is where peace exists. When you focus on what's happening in this very moment, you can free your mind from the worries that steal your tranquility. Imagine for a moment that you set aside the need to control what will happen tomorrow or regret what happened yesterday. Instead, you decide to be fully present in whatever you're doing, whether it's an ordinary task or a profound experience. The key here is mindful awareness. Instead of being dragged by thoughts and emotions that pull you away from the moment, you can begin to be the observer of your thoughts. When you see yourself as the observer, you realize that you are not your thoughts, nor your emotions, nor your memories. You are the witness to all of that, and when you adopt that perspective, mental suffering begins to fade. Living in the now also means letting go of expectations and comparisons. Many times our mind is occupied with how things should be, comparing reality to an idealized version that never quite matches. This kind of thinking pulls us away from the present and sinks us into a cycle of dissatisfaction. Accepting what is, rather than wishing it were different, allows us to experience the now as it is, without judgments, without resistance. The present is also the space where our deepest emotions reside. In the here and now, emotions arise without interference from judgments or expectations. If you experience sadness, joy, or frustration, simply allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, without clinging to those feelings or fighting against them. Recognizing that everything is transient, that everything passes, helps you release the emotional weight we often carry with us. The power of now is not just a philosophy, it is a daily practice. The more you immerse yourself in the present, the easier it becomes to silence the mind and live in peace. Every moment becomes an opportunity to return to your center and your true nature. As you practice this mindful awareness, you will notice that there is nothing more valuable than the now. It's essential to understand that this power is not in external circumstances, but in your ability to choose where to place your attention. The control over your mind doesn't lie in controlling thoughts, but in learning to not identify with them. In this way, you free yourself from the constant inner struggle and find the peace you've been seeking. Now that you understand the importance of living in the present, the next step is to apply this knowledge in your daily life, to truly silence your mind and experience the power of now. Silencing the mind is not an easy task, especially when we've spent our whole lives being dragged by the whirlwind of thoughts and worries. However, there are several practices you can start implementing right away to begin reducing mental noise and focusing more on the present. Here are some effective strategies to start calming your mind and living in the now. 1. Focus on your breath. 300 words. Breathing is one of the most powerful means of bringing the mind into the present. When you're anxious or overloaded with thoughts, the first thing that happens is that your breath becomes shallow and rapid. By becoming aware of your breath and focusing on it, you can immediately calm your mind and center yourself in the here and now. Suggested practice. Sit in a comfortable place, close your eyes, and take a deep breath through your nose. Feel how the air enters your nostrils, fills your lungs, and then slowly exits through your mouth. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes, focusing only on the movement of your breath. If your thoughts distract you, return your focus to your breath without judgment. This simple exercise can help you break the cycle of racing thoughts. Deep breathing doesn't just calm your body, it also reduces excessive mental activity, allowing you to experience the present without the constant interference of your mind. 2. Practice mindfulness in everyday activities. 300 words. Mindfulness is the practice of being completely present in any activity you are doing, without distractions. Often, we engage in everyday tasks like eating, walking, or even showering, while our minds are elsewhere thinking about what we did or what we will do. Suggested practice. Choose a daily activity such as eating or walking. During this activity, direct all your attention to what you're doing. If you're eating, feel the texture, taste, and aroma of the food. If you're walking, observe each step, the movement of your feet, and the air on your face. If you get distracted by thoughts, acknowledge them without judgment and return to focusing on the activity. Mindfulness allows you to enjoy daily experiences with more depth. It helps you stay present, eliminating your mind's tendency to wander into the past or future. By making mindfulness a part of your daily routine, you'll gradually learn to stay centered in the present moment. 3. Observe your thoughts. 300 words. One of the biggest obstacles to silencing the mind is identification with your thoughts. We believe we are our thoughts and allow them to dictate our emotions and reactions. But the truth is that thoughts are just that, thoughts. They are not reality, and they do not have the power to define who we are. Suggested practice. Sit in a quiet place and allow thoughts to naturally arise in your mind. Don't judge or engage with them. Simply observe them as if you were watching a movie. Ask yourself, whose thoughts are these? Where are they coming from? Over time, you'll realize that thoughts have no power over you, and you can simply let them pass. If you feel overwhelmed, try visualizing the thoughts as clouds passing through the sky. They're there, but they don't affect you. This self-observation exercise helps you realize that you are not your thoughts. You can be aware of them without being controlled by them. The more you practice observing without getting involved in your thoughts, the easier it becomes to reach a state of calmness. 4. Practice gratitude. 300 words. Gratitude is a powerful tool for silencing the mind because it grounds you in the present and helps you focus on the positive. Often our minds are filled with complaints, worries, and unfulfilled desires, which pull us away from inner peace. Practicing gratitude allows you to shift your focus to what you have rather than what you lack. Suggested practice. Every morning before starting your day, make a list of 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big or small. Your health, the sun shining, a cup of coffee. During the day, whenever you feel overwhelmed, recall one of the things on your list. If possible, speak out loud how you feel about that blessing. At the end of the day, reflect on the positive experiences you had and how they made you feel. This positive focus helps you break free from negative thinking and brings you back to what truly matters, the present moment. Gratitude reduces the scattered mind and leads you back to the essential. These are just a few ways to start silencing your mind and living more fully in the now. Don't worry if you don't achieve it immediately. What's important is that you begin to incorporate these practices into your daily life. Over time, you'll notice a significant difference in the peace of mind and clarity you experience. Now that you know some strategies to reduce mental noise, in the next chapter we will explore how the power of now can transform your life, bringing calm, clarity, and lasting happiness. Living in the present has a profound and transformative impact on all aspects of our lives. When we begin to silence the mind and focus on the here and now, we realize that the problems and suffering as we know them disappear. What remains is peace, clarity, and happiness that we have always been seeking. The power of now not only frees us from anxiety and stress, but also allows us to enjoy a richer and more fulfilling life. 1. Reduction of stress and anxiety. One of the immediate benefits of living in the present is the significant reduction of stress. Stress usually arises when we worry about the future or regret the past. By learning to be present, we let go of the mental burden of what might happen or what already happened. When you're not caught up in thinking about what you can't control, life becomes lighter and more manageable. By putting your attention on the present, your body naturally responds with deep relaxation. The tension that has built up disappears because you're no longer constantly anticipating what's to come. Instead of seeing challenges as threats, you view them as opportunities to learn and grow, without the emotional burden that usually accompanies fear of the future. 2. Mental clarity and decision-making. Another great benefit of living in the now is mental clarity. When you free yourself from constant mental noise, you can think more clearly and focus more effectively. Decisions become easier because they are no longer influenced by fears, doubts, or unrealistic expectations. By living in the present, your mind becomes more efficient because you can assess situations objectively. You no longer get distracted by, what if this doesn't work? Or, what if I make the wrong decision? This clear focus allows you to make decisions with more confidence and be more effective in everything you do, whether at work, in relationships, or in personal projects. 3. Better relationship with yourself and others. When we live in the present, we not only free ourselves from internal worries, but also improve our relationships with others. Many times, our minds are so occupied with thoughts of the past or future that we aren't truly present when interacting with others. This can lead to misunderstandings, unnecessary conflicts, and a sense of disconnection. By practicing being present, you become a better listener and a more empathetic partner. You're more available to the people around you because you're not thinking about what you're going to say next or what's coming up. This presence-focused approach enhances the quality of your relationships, fostering understanding and promoting a more harmonious environment both personally and professionally. 4. Greater appreciation for life and the simple pleasures. Living in the now also allows us to appreciate life's small moments. Instead of getting lost in the daily grind and the worries of the future, we begin to notice the little blessings that used to pass unnoticed. It could be the aroma of a cup of coffee in the morning, a walk in the park, or a sincere conversation with a friend. These moments become richer and more meaningful when we are truly present. Furthermore, when we live in the present, we are more aware of what surrounds us, which allows us to connect more deeply with nature, art, and people. By freeing the mind from distractions, we can enjoy life's experiences more fully. 5. Lasting peace and emotional balance. Finally, one of the greatest benefits of living in the present is that it allows us to experience lasting peace. As we detach from the constant flow of thoughts, we discover that our true nature is calm and serenity. Peace isn't about escaping the chaos of the external world. It's about finding stillness within ourselves. When we live in the now, we understand that there is nothing to fear or avoid. Emotions, both positive and negative, arise and disappear, but our essence remains unchanged. We learn to accept the impermanence of everything, which allows us to handle life's ups and downs with greater resilience. We no longer cling to happiness or fear sadness. We simply experience them, accept them, and move forward. This emotional balance is the direct result of living in the moment. By understanding that nothing in life is permanent, we can fully enjoy each moment without the fear that it will end. In fact, true happiness lies in accepting what is, without trying to change or control it. 6. Realization of the true self and unity with all beyond all these benefits. Living in the now also allows us to discover our true essence. When we stop and observe the present moment, we realize that our identity is not defined by the past, nor by thoughts of the future. We are much bigger than our roles, expectations, and stories. In the present, we reconnect with our essential being, the being that is eternal, unchanging, and filled with peace. By realizing this truth, we experience a deeper connection with everything around us, and we are freed from the suffering caused by identification with the ego. Now that you understand how the power of now can transform your life, it's time to take action and begin applying these practices. In the next chapter, we will explore how the daily practice of mental silence can lead to a state of lasting emotional balance, transforming not just your mind, but your body and life as a whole. One of the most powerful aspects of silencing the mind is that it connects us to our true nature and to the essence of the universe itself. When the mind quiets, we move away from the limitations of the ego and enter a state of pure awareness, where reality reveals itself as it truly is. In this state, we begin to experience life from a deeper place, more aligned with the universal flow. 1. The silent mind and direct experience of reality. When we manage to silence our minds, we stop filtering reality through thoughts and judgments. Instead of seeing the world through the lens of our beliefs, biases, and expectations, we begin to experience reality directly, just as it is. This is one of the greatest gifts of the practice of now. It connects us to life in a fresh and authentic way. Mental noise, with its worries, doubts, and fears, acts as a filter that distorts our perception of the world. When this filter dissolves, life presents itself to us in its purest form. The beauty of a sunset, the sound of rain, or the smile of a loved one take on a depth and meaning we cannot experience when we're trapped in our thoughts. 2. The ego and its disappearance in the silent mind. One of the greatest limitations of the ego is that it makes us feel separate from everything around us. We identify with our body, our thoughts, our emotions, and believe that we are an entity distinct from the rest of the universe. However, when the mind quiets, we begin to transcend the ego and experience unity with all that exists. This state of awareness allows us to see that our true essence is not limited to our body or mind, but that we are part of a universal intelligence, a cosmic consciousness that interconnects everything. In this state, the boundaries between I and other dissolve, and we experience a profound sense of connection with everything around us. 3. Silent mind as a bridge to spiritual connection. The silent mind doesn't just connect us to the external world, it also connects us to our spiritual dimension. By maintaining a quiet mind, we are able to access a space within where we can listen to our true voice, the one that is in tune with universal wisdom. In this space, the ego dissolves, and it becomes evident that we are spiritual beings, connected to something much greater than ourselves. This kind of spiritual connection is not an intellectual concept, but a direct experience. It's something felt deep within our being, a recognition of our divine nature. The silent mind opens us to this transcendent dimension, where we can experience the peace, serenity, and unconditional love that stem from our essential self. 4. The flow of the universe and infinite peace. When the mind quiets, we align ourselves with the natural flow of the universe. Life stops feeling like a struggle, like a series of obstacles we have to overcome. Instead, we experience a state of fluidity and harmony, where everything happens perfectly and at the right time. This state of flow is the expression of infinite peace. In this state, you realize that you don't need to fight to make things happen. The universe is already working in your favor. All you need to do is let go of control, trust the process, and allow life to unfold at its own pace. The silent mind helps you access this flow, letting you be carried by the current of life without resistance or fear. 5. The experience of the true self and unity with all. By reaching mental stillness, we realize that peace and wisdom are not outside of us, but within our very being. This is the realization of the true self, the recognition that we are pure consciousness, beyond mind and body. In this state, we feel complete and whole, not because we've achieved something or reached a goal, but because we've connected with our true nature. This state of connection allows us to see that we are not separate from others or from the universe. We are an expression of the same universal consciousness that gives life to everything. By awakening to this truth, we experience a profound unity with the universe and all beings. We no longer see ourselves as isolated individuals, but as part of a cosmic web of life. By practicing mental silence and experiencing our connection with the universe, we begin to live in a more conscious and authentic way. The mind calms, the ego dissolves, and life becomes an experience of unity, peace, and love. This is the true purpose of silencing the mind, returning to our essence, to the truth that lies beyond thoughts and illusions. In the next chapter, we will explore the obstacles that arise when trying to live in the now, and how to overcome them so we can continue advancing on our path to inner peace. Living in the now is a powerful practice, but it is not without its challenges. The mind, accustomed to running between the past and the future, tends to resist the present moment. However, understanding these obstacles and knowing how to overcome them is essential in fully harnessing the power of now and living a fulfilling life. In this chapter, we will explore some of the most common obstacles we face when trying to live in the present and provide practical solutions for overcoming them. 1. The divided mind, the past and future always present. One of the main obstacles to living in the now is the constant tendency of the mind to split its attention between the past and the future. The past presents itself as a bundle of memories, sometimes pleasant, sometimes painful, that keep us trapped in a narrative of what already happened. The future, on the other hand, is full of anticipations, expectations, and fears about what might happen. Solution. The key to overcoming this obstacle is self-acceptance and the understanding that the only thing real is the present moment. The next time you notice your mind wandering to the past or the future, gently redirect your attention back to the present. Practice grounding yourself in the moment by focusing on your senses. Listen to the sounds around you, feel the air on your skin, or focus on the sensation of your breath. These little reminders can bring your focus back to the now. 2. Control. The need to manage everything. The need to control every aspect of our lives is another significant obstacle. When we try to control the future, or even certain situations in the present, we create an internal resistance that pushes us away from peace. The desire to make things happen generates anxiety and frustration, as we are constantly seeking a perfection that never arrives. Solution. The practice of detachment and acceptance is essential to overcoming this resistance to control. Accept that there are things you cannot control, and that everything unfolds according to its own rhythm. Peace comes when you let go of the need to control everything and allow yourself to live as you are, accepting circumstances as they are. Remember, life flows naturally when you stop interfering with its course. 3. Overstimulation. The external world and disconnection from the present. We live in a world saturated with constant stimuli, notifications, social media, and an endless flow of information. This external overload creates a disconnection from what truly matters. The mind gets swept away by the hustle and urgency of external demands, making it difficult to practice living in the moment. Solution: set clear boundaries when it comes to external distractions. Dedicate specific moments of the day to disconnect from social media, turn off your phone, and be truly present. You can even establish a disconnection ritual, where every morning or night, you practice meditation or mindfulness without external interruptions. The goal is to find pockets of tranquility where you can be with yourself, without the world outside interfering with your inner peace. 4. Fear. The fear of the uncertainty of the present. Fear is a powerful obstacle to living in the now. Many times our fear of the future or even the unknown keeps us trapped in the mind, unable to enjoy the present. Fear shows up in the form of anticipatory anxiety, where we constantly worry about what might go wrong, preventing us from enjoying life as it is. Solution: to overcome fear, it is essential to cultivate trust in the present. Remember that the future is uncertain, and worrying about it only drains energy without changing anything. Instead of letting fear dictate your life, invest your energy into what you can control, your attitude toward the situation. Practicing deep breathing and self-affirmation also helps calm fear and return to center. Over time, you will learn to trust more in the flow of life and in your ability to deal with any challenge that comes your way. 5. Lack of patience. Expecting quick change. Many times we expect immediate results when trying to live in the present. Patience is crucial on this path. It is not about instant transformation, but a gradual process that requires consistency and acceptance. If you don't see immediate results, you may feel frustrated and give up on the practice. Solution: the key to overcoming impatience is perseverance. Just like any other skill, the ability to be present improves with consistent practice. Don't rush or judge yourself for not achieving mental calm instantly. Acknowledge your small victories and celebrate the fact that you're consciously working on living in the now. Transformation will be gradual, but permanent. Overcoming these obstacles is not an easy process, but it is entirely possible. As you progress in your practice of living in the now, you'll realize that each challenge is simply an opportunity to deepen your connection with the present. Remember, the path to inner peace is not linear, but with each step you take, you'll move closer to a life full of tranquility and joy. In the next chapter, we will explore how the daily practice of mental silence can lead to lasting emotional balance, transforming not only your mind but also your body and life as a whole. Mental silence is not something that happens all at once. It is not a state that we reach instantly, but rather an ongoing practice that requires dedication and patience. It is a daily process that allows us to achieve deep peace, balance our emotions, and attain greater clarity in our lives. In this chapter, we will explore the importance of cultivating mental silence every day and how this can transform your overall well-being. 1. Mental silence as a daily habit. Mental silence is not just a spiritual concept. It is a daily practice that you can integrate into your life. Like any other habit, the constant practice of mental silence leads you to greater inner peace. This type of practice requires discipline and dedication. At first, it may be challenging, but over time, you'll start to notice the profound effects it has on your life. Suggested practice. Dedicate at least 10 minutes each day to the practice of mental silence. Sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, and observe your breathing. During this time, let go of any thoughts that arise. Don't cling to them or follow them. Just observe them pass and return your attention to the breath. If your mind strays, don't get frustrated. This is completely normal. Simply bring your focus back to the present, to the breath, and notice how the mind gradually calms down. This simple act of daily silence can be transformative. As you continue practicing, you'll notice that your mind becomes quieter even outside of the formal practice. The key is consistency and patience. Remember, change doesn't happen immediately, but every day that you practice, your mind will become calmer. 2. Mental and emotional health benefits. Mental silence has a profound influence on our mental and emotional health. By releasing the mind from constant noise, we significantly reduce stress and anxiety levels. The daily practice of stillness helps calm the body's stress response, which can lead to better physical and emotional health. When we keep our minds in silence, the nervous system enters a state of deep relaxation, which helps to reduce blood pressure, improve sleep, and relieve accumulated tension. Additionally, mental silence allows us to observe our emotions without identifying with them. By no longer fighting against how we feel, we create lasting emotional balance. 3. Improving focus and productivity. Mental silence also plays a key role in improving our concentration and productivity. When our minds are filled with scattered thoughts and worries, our ability to focus on a specific task is greatly diminished. However, by practicing mental silence, we develop clearer focus. Suggested practice. Before starting an important task, take a few minutes to calm your mind with deep breathing or a brief meditation. Then, approach the task with a fresh, undistracted mind. By being present, you'll find it easier to complete the task efficiently and with greater quality. Over time, you'll notice that your ability to focus improves, not only in work-related tasks, but also in daily activities that require your attention. By reducing mental distractions, you can be more productive and find a better balance between work and rest. 4. Mental silence and spiritual connection. Mental silence is also a gateway to our spiritual dimension. By maintaining a quiet mind, we can access an inner space where we can hear our true voice, the one that is in tune with universal wisdom. In this space, the ego dissolves, and it becomes evident that we are spiritual beings, connected to something much greater than ourselves. Suggested practice. During your silence practice, take a few moments to listen to your inner voice. Let thoughts of love, peace, and wisdom arise, and allow them to guide your life. Open your heart to the connection with the universe. Feel how inner peace expands and connects you to something much bigger than you. This spiritual connection offers us a sense of purpose and peace that transcends any material achievement. It reminds us that our essence is love and light, and that everything we need to be whole is already within us. 5. How to integrate mental silence into daily life. Integrating mental silence into your daily life doesn't have to be complicated. While it's important to set aside specific moments for formal practice, you can also bring mental silence into your routine. Every time you face a stressful situation or challenge, you can turn to mental silence as a tool to maintain calm. Suggested practice. When you're stuck in traffic or waiting in line, take those moments to center yourself with deep breathing. If you feel overwhelmed by a conversation or a situation, take a mental pause and return to the present moment. Over time, these moments will add up, and gradually your life will become quieter and more centered. Mental silence not only brings peace, but also allows us to experience life more deeply. It helps reduce stress, improve our mental and emotional health, and enhance productivity. By practicing it every day, we can live more consciously, in balance, and aligned with our true nature. In the next chapter, We will explore how the practice of mental silence and living in the present can lead us to lasting emotional balance, transforming not just our mind, but our body and life as a whole. Now that you have explored the secrets to silencing the mind and living in the present, it's time to take the next step toward personal transformation. Living in the now is not just a philosophical concept. It is a practice that can radically change your life. As you immerse yourself in the power of now, you will begin to experience lasting peace, greater mental clarity, and a deep connection with your essential self. It's important to remember that the practice of living in the moment is not something that happens overnight. It requires patience, dedication, and the willingness to face the obstacles that will arise along the way. But every step you take toward mental silence and acceptance of the now will bring you closer to a life filled with peace and authentic happiness. Start today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't make excuses. The present is all you have, and it is here that your true change begins. If you feel that your mind is filled with noise and chaos, take a step back and remember. You can return to the now at any moment, simply by reminding yourself of your breath through a moment of mindfulness, or through the intention of being present. Make mental silence a daily habit. Start with short periods of stillness each day, and allow that calm to expand throughout your day. As this practice becomes a natural part of your life, you'll begin to see the impact on your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Inner peace is possible, and it is available in this very moment. If you feel that this journey of self-exploration and inner peace resonates with you, I invite you to continue practicing, share your experiences, and reflect on how the power of now can transform your life. Remember that life is now, and the time to begin is always today. If this video has inspired you, don't hesitate to subscribe for more content on how to live fully, calmly, and in harmony with the present. Share this video with those who could also benefit from this message, and together let's keep growing toward a more conscious life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I wish you all the best on your path toward inner peace and true freedom.